Good morning, children. We'll continue learning about the physical and chemical changes. The previous class we learned about the physical changes. By now you all know that to identify a change surrounding you as a physical change. Whenever there is a change in the size, shape, color or state, you know that it is a physical change, and you all know that it is most of the time it is reversible and there is no new substances formed. Yes, children, by the time when we are discussing about the physical change, we discussed about the salt solution and sugar solution. Do you remember that? Yes. So last year in 6th class you learned that salt, we get salt from the sea water, because sea water is having so many dissolved salts with it. So we get the salt from the sea water. So they will allow the water to evaporate and we'll be getting the salt. Yes, but as such, that type of method we will not get the pure form of salt. So to get the pure form of salt, there is a method called crystallization. So today we will learn, first we will see about crystallization. This is also a physical change, children. See, you will be it will be very interesting for you to learn about this crystallization. See, to learn further about crystallization, you have to recollect what are the activities you did in the 6th class. So one of the activity you might have done, that preparation of saturated solution. Do you remember preparing saturated solution? Yes, no, children, you might have prepared saturated solution. You know that a solution will have a solvent and solute also. Yes. Now our aim is, now we are going to prepare a salt solution. From this we want the crystals of salt. We are going to prepare the crystals of salt. Yes, children. So now what will you do? You will take a beaker of water. After take a beaker of water, first we have to heat the water. And after heating, when it starts boiling, we have to stop heating and we have to start adding so this is the beaker. We will start adding the water is there. You will start adding the salt to it. So here salt is the solute. Yes, no, children, and water is the solvent. Yes, this is the water. So you will keep on adding you are going to keep on add the salt and you will be stirring it. The water is hot, so keep on, you will be adding. So at one point you know that you cannot add, no more salt can be added. How will you identify that? The salt whichever you are adding will start getting deposited at the bottom. So that time no more salt can be dissolved, no more solute can be dissolved in the solvent. Yes, so that point is called the saturated solution. So this also you might be knowing why it is happening now. By now you all know molecules, space is there, these all you know. So at this point you have to take this solution and you will filter it. So after filtering, and you have to leave it for cooling. So when you allow it for cooling, after some time you will find that crystals of salt are getting produced like this. With the adult supervision you can try, but without teacher's help or parents' help, like this crystals of salt can be produced. Like this, when you are producing the salt, it will be of pure form. So generally crystallization method is only followed for producing the crystal salts. So what is here involved? First you have to take the water, and water is hot, and you have to start adding the salt, and you prepare the saturated salt solution. And once you prepare the saturated solution, you will filter it, and that filtered solution you will keep it aside for cooling. So after cooling you will see the crystals of salt is formed, and from this crystal again you can get back, you can dissolve it again adding water, and you can reverse this process. Yes, that is why it is a physical change. Not only salt, children, you can go for sugar. You keep on adding sugar, and the one point you will prepare the saturated sugar solution. Now you will filter it. After filtering, you will keep filter it, and you will keep it for cooling. You will see that crystals of sugar is formed. So this method is the method by which we can get the pure sugar or pure salt. So this is called crystallization, and it is an example of physical change. Why? Because it can be reversed. Even though we are heating, preparing the solution, then we are filtering, cooling, all these are involved, but even then we can reverse it back. So as it is a reversible, and this mixture what you have made, it is, we are able to separate it by some of the physical methods like heating, cooling, and also by filtering. So that is why it is a physical change. Not only sugar and salt, children, even we can prepare copper sulfate crystals. So copper sulfate is also one of the salt, which will be in that powder. Copper sulfate powder will be in blue color, and the solution will be like this. Copper sulfate solution will be like this blue color solution. So first we will take water. First we are going to prepare now copper sulfate crystals. Yes, so for that what you have to take? You have to take a beaker, and first you will take water. To that you add few drops of sulfuric, dilute, not concentrated, dilute sulfuric acid. Dilute sulfuric acid you will add to it. Just drops you will add, and then you will heat it. And once you start heating, when it starts boiling, you will stop heating, and you have to add as usual. First you prepare the copper sulfate solution. So at one point you will keep on adding this is the copper sulfate powder. Copper sulfate powder you will start adding. So you keep on, you will add to that, and you will be stirring. And one point you know that the saturated copper sulfate solution will be made, will get ready. You filter it, and then you will filter it. Just in another beaker you filter it, and you leave it for cooling. You will see the crystals just shown in the image. You can see crystals of copper sulfate will be produced, will be getting. So that is one process. This process is called as crystallization process, and it is one of the example of physical change. Why? Because it can be reversed. Again the crystals can be dissolved in water, and again it can be reversible change. So it is a physical change. So physical change, just some of you are having doubt about that sugar, salt, that day also will be discussed. So I hope now you might have understood why it is a physical change, because in this it is a mixture. That mixture, the components are there in a mixture. The components of the mixture we are able to separate them by the physical methods. Yes, that is why, and it is reversible. It is one of the physical change. Pictures are there in your textbook. End of the lesson we will see, and we will understand that. Now we will continue with the. Now when this is a physical change, then your doubt will come when so many chemicals are